Hello and welcome back to Enigmatica. Today we're gonna start where we left off last time. Except I have done quite some progress since then. Although it's just been grindy. But the first thing I actually want to do is to actually repair the bookcases because the bookshelves were placed incorrectly. Couple of people pointed that out. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm pretty sure that I know that this shouldn't work, but for some reason my brain thought I should place them like that. And by the way, let's place them back and just see that this is indeed a problem. So let's just pick something up. I'm already rearranging things here because I had the barrels here, but they weren't big enough. And we're gonna talk about that in a second. Oh, I actually have a shovel here. So if I put this shovel in here, we can see that the levels are Eterna 50-50, Arcana 97.5, Quanta 75%. That's the number we get. And I think if I just remove these bookshelves, remove bookshelves, and we put in the shovel again, yeah, the numbers are exactly the same. Those bookshelves weren't doing anything. We need the bookshelves here. This needs to go away. Right, and if I put in the shovel now, that's 50-50, that's now 100%, and this is 95%, so I need one more bookshelf. Oh, I need to remove one more of these barrels. These barrels have been just containing various armors and the books that I have picked up that are related to enchanting somehow. And like most of them are just like they have the special abilities from the Apotheosis mod that I need to just extract into books, because we can extract them into books. I don't know if I've ever actually shown it. So let's say I'm gonna get Rare Affix Tome, right? And we get something, let's find something rare in here. This one is rare. It has some additional things like physical damage, pierces armor, your attacks execute foes, and blah blah blah, various things like that. So you go to an anvil and do something like this, and now I don't always get all the affixes from the tools or weapons or whatever I put in here, but we get a few of them. So piercing and execute damage, why not? Let's pick it up. And I lost the anvil. I still have a few anvils in here that I just found in the world randomly. Where did I put them? I have an anvil here. It's no big deal to make a new anvil, but why? Let's use up the anvils we have. Although we will be doing things with anvils, probably not just right now, because there's a couple of other things I need to do, but there will be some anvil shenanigans soon. But I needed one more shelf, and now this is at maximum capacity. Right? Let's just see. Yes, all is maximum. But even without having these things at maximum, this is the most horrible place for an bookshelf that I have ever added to anything ever. And now I made it worse. But alright, even without that, I've been playing around, and I have some really crazy books. We're going to be playing around with anvils just to get order in this whole mess of books. But before doing that, let's go back to the mob farm and see what's going on and why I have 326 levels. And you might think that I made some automation. No, I didn't. Where we going, we don't need any automation. I will make automation for this stuff soon, but that's related to something else. Watch my levels now. 326. Oh, yeah. That wasn't a fluke. I made the most crazy, overpowered. Well, the word overpowered is maybe overused now, but I made the most overpowered sword. It can actually. The scary thing is that this can be more overpowered. So it is a Neverite Greatsword. Greatsword is from the Tetra mod. You modify your sword so it hits much harder and always does sweeping damage. I added sweeping edge to it. I don't know if it actually does anything, but the magical thing here that we need to look at is Knowledge of the Ages. Knowledge of the Ages converts drops from the mobs into XP. And then to add to that, I have looting and capture. I don't think the capturing matters at all. The smite definitely helps with the wither skeletons because everything in here is undead. Because it's all with wither skeletons. I just noticed how many levels I got from. I only killed them because they were noisy. Anyway, yeah, I have a complete mad sword. I still can add more things to it because I think I mentioned that there is a book that I think it makes them roll the loot tables twice. We're gonna get back to this place, but that's enough for now. We might do some automations in here eventually. But for now, we need to go and do some bee work. And I need more beepers. So I took my beepers out of my archive already, and let's just breed them. Because we will need beepers to get a few other types of bees that we don't have right now. And let's get 2 beepers. Yes, they are breeding. And by the way, here are my obsidian bee and ender bee because they eat chorus flowers. So that's why we needed chorus flowers from the end. But the beeper is gonna be important for... First we take the blaze bee. And we look here at entity to entity mutations, and a blaze bee that flies over a beeper. This is a beeper. That doesn't have to be a spawning. This might be a little bit confusing, but it's not a spawning. It's just a beeper. A blaze bee that flies over a beeper mutates it into a ghost bee. Now, ghost bees, well, they do exist. I'll definitely have them in the apiaries, but I don't think they are making anything very particularly useful. Yeah, we're getting potassium nitrate, which I guess is some kind of fertilizer. What is it used for, actually? Oh, it can be used to make gunpowder. Oh, there might be more use. But the beepers are giving me gunpowder, so I don't think they are particularly relevant. And they gave me gas tiers, which isn't important. But can they be bred to something? No. Can they mutate something? Yes, they can mutate the diamond bee into a netherite bee. And... yeah, of course I want the netherite bee. I'm not a peasant. I don't want to go mining if I don't have to. So yeah, we're gonna get netherite bees today, hopefully, if all the breeding and stuff goes right. And alright, we have the beepers, and I think this is where the blaze bees live. So let's just release one of them here. Oh, I can't release the other one through this interface. I'm just gonna do it manually. What could possibly go wrong? Actually, a lot of this is a creeper bee, right? I probably don't want to punch it because it will probably explode. I have never tried it, but I'm assuming that might be a thing because it would be funny to add. And considering how many bad puns there are in the resourceful bees mod, I wouldn't be surprised. Would you? Well, I wouldn't. So let's now wait a random amount of time to get the ghast bee. Do your mutation magic, blaze bee, and we'll be back here in a while to see if we get any ghasts. But while we are waiting for the ghast bees to get mutated, I need to deal with another problem I have in this world. And that is this thing I'm holding here, my food. My food situation kind of sucks. I need to go right here to my field, harvest it manually like a peasant. We don't want that. We have technology. We can automate this, I'm pretty sure. Haven't tried this actually, but it doesn't seem like it would be a hard problem. And what I'm understanding is that we need to have a plant gatherer and a plant, not fertilizer, plant sower. Fertilizer maybe as well, because I have tons of bones, so I guess we can make bone meal, but plant sower, because plant gatherer will just remove the plants entirely, and plant sower will replant them. So we need to figure out how these things work. Unfortunately, to make them, you need plastic. So we need with some industry. Plastic is made from dry rubber. Dry rubber is made from tiny dry rubber. I think there are other ways, but I think this is the way I should be doing this. And yes, and we did get this from the latex processing unit, which takes in it needs latex to be built, but it also needs latex. And it's maybe better explained in the quests here for the Industrial Foregoing. We need to build a fluid extractor, place a log in front of it, and then a latex processing unit so that we can make the rubber stuff. Further in the industrial foregoing, we will also need a dissolution chamber to make some other things, including this magical thing, the mob crusher. It produces essence, which I think is just some crafting material for more advanced stuff in the industrial foregoing, but it can also make normal jobs with looting. So we will definitely be making one of those so that the Wither Skeleton Farm can drop us, well, everything we need. So let's start with this. Let's start by extracting some rubber, I guess, from logs. And would you look at that? I completely forgot to mention it. I expanded my little industrial house because, well, I didn't want to build the second one. So the industrial foregoing stuff will be going on this side. Maybe even some other stuff will go in here. And yes, we have a fluid extractor. And I just need to figure out how it works. It said power optional, so... but I think, yeah, we definitely want power, right? Like, why wouldn't we want power? Just gonna place it here. Oh, and it needs the log on that side. It's kind of weird, because some machines face away from you when you place them, and some face towards you, and I don't really understand how it's supposed to work. It said power optional, so if I just place an acacia... It doesn't have to be apparently acacia log, but apparently acacia logs are the most efficient. So it does something to it. Are you doing... Oh. Click. Oh, that is not fast. I'm hoping it's going to be faster with some power. This should be fine. Right. And cover it up. Good. So now this is getting power. Please be faster. Oh yeah, it is faster. And I think we can install upgrades to make this faster, although I don't think it matters. I might be eating up these words, but I don't think it matters for this to be super fast because I probably won't need a lot of latex. Now comes the question of how do we store this latex, because I think there is a way to connect these machines automatically so that they would push things into each other. So I would just put the latex processing unit next to it. But I'm thinking that I should just store all my fluids, and that probably even includes honey. I should just store it in my storage system because there are ways to store liquids or fluids in the storage system as well. So let's try to figure that out. Fluid storage disk, yes. What is a reasonable size for a fluid storage disk? These are the standard disks from Refined Storage, and the biggest one for normal is 64K, but that is absolutely not enough. I'm already using the 1024K, so one meg storage disk in my storage system. So I'm gonna go for the second size of fluid storage disks from the extra storage mod, and it would be this one. Yes. So let's build it and try to figure out how fluid storage works. And yeah, the amount of materials to make that disk is pretty staggering. This is just 1,000 quartz that we're processing in here. The silicon is just smelted quartz. This is gold. This is like almost a stack of diamonds. Glass. It's completely nuts. And we're using all our iron. Actually, I have noticed that iron is my biggest bottleneck. Even with the beast producing the iron ingots, it's still... I'm running out of iron all the time. I don't know. I probably just need to get like 10 iron beasts or something like that. Maybe that's overkill, but yeah. All right. I don't know how long this is going to take. This is insane. I actually want to go to see how my industrial infrastructure is surviving all this. What's going on there, because this place in here should be going nuts right now. Oh, it's just smelting. That's it. That's the only thing that's happening right now. And just look at how beautifully fast this is now. This is fully upgraded, and it's an ultimate smelting factory, which means that, well, it has that many slots, 9 slots. So it's going nuts right now, but it's still taking a lot of time. And I have a crafting monitor here as well, so we can see, okay, the quartz is almost done. We'll still need to do a lot of cooking, including glass. Nothing else is actually doing much. That tells me that, yeah, this is just the smelting is bottleneck. Maybe I should get more smelters, or maybe I'm not doing these huge crafts that often, so it probably doesn't matter. Nah, yeah. It doesn't really matter. I do this maybe once every 3 weeks or so. So yeah, this is fine. All right, finally it's done. So I guess I can just, can I put that fluid storage disk here? Oh, but that kind of ruins my, well, the progress bar here, how full it is. I think I can just connect a new disk drive. This should be relatively quick. There we go. Bam. So let's put the fluid storage disk here. Let's just put it here. Right. And now somehow we should be able to add fluids into this. So let's just see how it works. I probably have already filled the latex machine completely, or the fluid extractor, whatever it was called. I keep forgetting. Like, people are having all these fancy names for their machines, but I keep forgetting what they're called. Yeah. So this is completely filled with latex now. So if I just add this, right? Did it suck everything out? No. Do we have to configure something? No. Do we have to configure this? Type, fluids. Yes, it sucked everything out. Oh, and the log is getting damaged. Ah, so I guess I will need to be replacing the logs somehow? I'll fix that in a minute, but now we should be getting latex, and I need to build a latex processing unit. But how do I get a bucket of latex so I can build the latex processing unit? Latex processing unit. Does refined storage automatically bucket things? No, of course not. It doesn't bucket things. Can I... There is a fluid grid here. Can I just... right-click it? No? Is there any way to extract fluids from here? No, of course that doesn't work. Oh! So if I held the bucket in my hand and right-click this, that gave me a bucket of latex. Okay, fair enough. That's not a particularly good way of extracting fluids from this thing into buckets, but I'll try to figure out a way to automate that. Right, now we can make a latex processing unit, I'm hoping. Yeah, there we go. And how do I automate that? There is something weird going on here. I'm just trying to automate everything. So plastic is made from dry rubber, which is made from tiny dry rubber, which is made from, well, this machine. But this is not the correct recipe. So it ends up being a processing recipe. But how do I give it the buckets of latex? So maybe if I remove the latex processing unit from here, how do I do that? Shift click and give it just a latex bucket. But I want to give it fluid. I don't want to give it latex buckets. How do I change this into fluids? Oh, I remember. There was something here. Search box size, types, fluids. Yes, that gives it latex. I think that might do it. Well, there is only one way to find out, and it is to just try and see what happens. So now I give this pattern to the latex processing unit. If I order plastic now, everything should work. We are missing 143 buckets of latex. I think I made an error. Okay, let's try this again. But before I go fix the recipe, I was thinking about doing this. So this is a constructor. So it should work like the opposite of the destructors there, I'm assuming. So if I put the constructor here, and I guess acacia log in here. So if this machine breaks the log, yeah, it gets placed. Yes, perfect. So we can now replenish the logs. How many small mini rubbers do we get from a latex processing unit? None whatsoever. Why? Does this need something? Oh, it needs water? Does it need water? Yeah, okay, so it needs water as well. I need a machine that automatically fills this thing with water. I suspect it could be as simple as putting a fluid tank here, right? Yeah, it's filling up with water now. And rather than pouring the water into my storage system, I think I can just add this thing, which is an external storage. It definitely works. So now we have this... Well, let's see if we have this. Let's see if it's accessible through the fluid grid. But I don't see why it wouldn't be. In here, yeah, definitely. We have 56 buckets of water. So if I add the exporter here, and the exporter should be doing buckets of water, which I don't have. There are definitely issues with handling fluids in modded Minecraft, I can see. Something is not as user-friendly as it should be. Right, now I have a bucket of water, and click this. This is type fluids and water bucket. Yes. It is filling up the water. The question is now, can we make more plastic? Plastic. And the answer to that question, can we make plastic? No, I couldn't. I tried everything. I tried feeding it more latex per recipe. I tried to feeding it less. It is a weird machine and it doesn't work like a crafter. So let's give up with that machine and try a different thing. Because you can see here, I have still attempts in the air of trying to make plastic or the tiny dry rubbers in the latex processing machine, and it just doesn't work. But I have found, like, if you click here, dry rubber, there is another way of making it. So I was making it through the tiny dry rubber because that's the apparently standard way of doing it through Industrial Foregoing, but the fractionating still thing here also can make the plastic. So that's the fractionating still. And I'm gonna try to make the plastic this way because I really want my plastic and I can't be bothered to figure out the very weird machine that doesn't behave like a normal crafter. So, hello, weird machine that doesn't behave like a crafter. We don't need the exporter anymore. Goodbye, latex processing unit. I want the fractionating still here. This is from a different mod, by the way. It's from Thermal series, but I guess it has some kind of integration with Industrial Foregoing. And which was it? It was this. Yes. Okay. Is this simpler now? Please be simpler. I have already spent so much time trying to figure this out and nothing, absolutely nothing works. And we finally have plastic. I'm just gonna do the most important thing with this, since the process is so stupidly slow, and you don't even want to know how much waiting that took to get just that little bit. I'm gonna put it in here. There's another thing in this requester. This requester is now full, but it's now going to try to force, well, eventually, because the requester doesn't work that often, but it's now going to try to make sure that I always have 64 plastic in my storage system at the same time. Right, but now I have a plant gatherer. How do I use it? So this is the middle. I'm assuming it needs to be placed in the middle. I'm assuming it's going to need power, but I think it had this option. Yes, show working area. One plant. One plant. One plant. Okay, how do I increase the range for this stuff? This is Industrial Foregoing. I'm hoping there are some modules to extend these things. Industrial, yes, I can see that these are definitely, yes, add-on. Range. How do I make these? Dissolution chamber. All right. Oh, and it actually uses latex as well. Oh, this isn't bad. This is tier 9. Are they even higher tiers for range? Let's just make them, just latex, glass panes, redstone dust, and emeralds. This should be simple enough, but I need to make a dissolution chamber. Okay, let's build that. Shouldn't be too hard. I think this is the magic crafting unit for the Industrial Foregoing mod. So rather than having normal recipes for crafting, Industrial Foregoing just has this magical machine to make more complicated things. I'm okay with that as long as I can automate it. Let's see if I can figure out this one. Hopefully it is not as painful as the previous one. All right, let's see if this works. Hopefully, please work, machine. Oh, it is working. Yeah, okay, this thing just works like a normal crafter. I didn't have to configure anything. Now we have a range add-on. This one here. I don't know, maybe range 12 is way overkill, but we will notice. So this is the and now I click here, show working area, and yeah, the working area is, oh, this is ginormous. So what does 12 mean in this case then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, okay, 12 to each side. And I probably don't want this much bigger than this, so maybe slightly bigger. Range 5. Okay, so we know that range 12 is a bad idea, but I might actually use it for a wood farm, because I know that these things are supposed to be able to be used with wood as well, and for wood farming, well, we can use much more range. And yeah, this range 5 looks about right. I need to move the machine 1 block back, but that's no big deal. Do I actually want it in this area? Yeah, I do want it in this area. This is a good area for my plants. So there, let's see, working area. Yeah, that looks about right. We'll figure out how this works in a minute, because I'm not going to connect it to power just yet. So let's just clean this up. But now, let's figure out how the plant sower works, because how do I put... Maybe I just need to put it on the other side. That makes sense, actually. That would actually make sense. So it should be the middle is here, so this is the plant sower. And I give it like this. I'm gonna give it range 5 and working area. What? Oh... It plants above it, and okay, and it has space for dirt in between, and then, oh, so I just need to dig it under the water source in here. I think the water source disappeared because of the working area. Yeah, it is a rendering bug. That definitely smells like a rendering bug. Yes, there is water in here. So I need to place it below the water source, and then it will plant things above. And actually, that's not bad, because that will give me an entry point for my tunnel, which I need to make to connect all the cables anyway. All right, we've got a tunnel. It is a little bit awkward. I couldn't make a ceiling in here, and you can see here why, because we are so close to the surface here that we are coming up in this exact spot. And by the way, the floor here is the roof of the mob farm, so I can hear wither skeletons all the time. I don't know what's gonna happen. Let's see. Ooh. Yes, it is eating my plants. Let's see what's going on. Yep. It is eating everything. So now, yes, it is gathering everything in here. Oh, sludge. I assume that this is something that we actually need to handle. It's probably very annoying to handle. So now we need to figure out the plant sower, how that works, and I'm assuming it needs an input somehow. Let me figure that one out, and I'll show you what I've done. And I think it should be as simple as this. So I have disabled the exporter because it kept overflowing my storage here, but I think I figured it out. So what I did is to lock the exporter and lock the machine so it wouldn't be eating the seeds. I'm just locking it by enable redstone mode, right? And I'm just not giving it any redstone signal. That kind of stops all the machines. That is one thing that is relatively consistent between all the mods that have the ability to give redstone control to machines. That's how you stop a machine. You just enable redstone mode. That I have figured out. But, well, I think I have all the inputs here. They are now locked. So if I enable the exporter, we should be filling this up with seeds. Yes, we are filling this up with seeds. And let's see if this thing works. Redstone mode ignored. Right. Where are we? Because we have already... Oh, it is planting things. What's the pattern for it planting? I don't think the hemp seeds are supposed to be here, so I'm just going to remove them manually. I am pretty sure that this was in the wrong spot, because I think this machine is supposed to be... The sower is supposed to work in squares. No, it's just supposed to fill my entire field with wheat. That's not what I wanted at all. Like, I don't want everything to be wheat. Okay, machine, stop. Stop doing what you're doing. You are definitely not doing the right thing. Is it something with the colors? Ah, I see. I think it's that. Yes. So that will be tomatoes, that will be flax, that will be hemp, that will be rice, and that will be soy. And I think I was running low on cabbage all the time, so let's add some more cabbage. And I think soy is also a good idea to have a lot of. Probably will change that, but I think I'm completely guessing now, but I think this is how we want to do it. Oops, I just realized I did a stupid because the water doesn't reach this place here. So we can't have that as farmland. Or can we? Of course, this is modded. I found this when fishing, and it says tilled farmland will stay moist. Okay. Let's try it. Yeah, okay, it seems to work. Bam! Ignore redstone signal. Let's see how this thing is functioning. Is it doing... It's doing rows? No, I think it's supposed to be doing squares, and it is doing squares. This is flax, so this is for string. This is soy, so this is for, well, food. Wheat. Yeah, it's all looking good, hopefully. Let's see if we're gonna get that harvest in a while, because, well, I am slightly running out of food. And just as a quick update on the bee front, we have one ghost bee, but we don't have a second one. As you just saw, the beeper, yeah, it just flew into the apiary here. We only got one ghast bee. I have no idea why they're being so slow. I want two so that I can breed them together. I want them in the archive before I start using them because they are a bit of a pain to get. But after we get the ghast bee, hopefully we get an netherite bee. Maybe I won't have time to do it today. We'll see. And what in the world happened here? What? Oh, that's rice. I guess I don't want to grow rice because it's underwater. That looks dangerous. I definitely don't want that. I'm betting that this water will spread. I just experimentally planted rice because I wanted to see if rice is good for anything. I kind of wanted to do sushi because I have tons of fish, but yeah, the water there doesn't look like a good idea. It ruined all my fields, evil machine. But it's restorable, and I don't need to plant anything manually, it will just fix itself. Alright, let's wait for the first proper harvests so that we can make some food. And yeah, this seems to be working fine, but we need to deal with one last problem, and it is the sludge. I think it will just build up, and I found this, a sludge refiner. So I just connect it here. I won't do any sludge collection in my storage system because that seems completely unnecessary. And that was east, I think. Oh, so it actually considers that... Okay, so this is the back of the machine, even though it has all the bits that seem to be doing things. But okay, well, this is the front, so I think I can do push, right? Yes, and it is going into the sludge refiner. And what does the sludge refiner produce? It produces sludge? Well, no, it produces refined sludge. Oh, it produces dirt. That's it? It makes dirt? Oh, well, okay, well, dirt is not bad. Well, let's have some dirt in our storage system. This might be a bad idea. It might overflow after a while, but fine. Oh, no, it was doing other things. That was red sand and gravel. I think it was red sand. Now let's see if we have any food, because I am out of food now. Let's make our veggie burgers. Ding, ding, ding. Can I make a whole stack? I've never been able to make a whole stack. I am missing some wheat. Oh, we're not making enough wheat. And I was thinking that cabbage would be the bottleneck. So I'm still not able to make a whole stack, but I can make 54. Close enough to a whole stack. I'll take it. I'll call that a success. We achieved food automation. So that will be enough for today. Thanks a lot for watching. And have a good snack. Bye.